Hi, my name is Nicole Connor, and I'm taking the Developing World. And um, so part of this class, I got adopted into a country, and that country is Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is located in Africa, which makes me very excited because I love Africa and I want to live there one day. Um, Sierra Leone is a very small country, and it's on the western part of Africa. You know what I'm talking about. It's on the coast, and actually, its flag has three different colors on it, just three stripes, and one of them is blue, and that represents the Atlantic Ocean. So that's a very big part of their country, the Atlantic Ocean and fishing and stuff like that. That's a big part of like their industry. Talking about the flag, the other countries are green and white. The green represents agriculture, and going back to like the tradition of fishing and everything like that. And also represents their mountains, and then the white represents justice and unity, and that's very important to the people of Sierra Leone because they have had a lot of hardships and trials, and there's been a lot of injustices there, and so justice and like bringing their nation together is something like a common theme in the people who are hopeful about making Sierra Leone like a happier place. Also, well, I don't know a lot about Sierra Leone, mostly because the web page on the school website thing for it was mostly about things, or beliefs. They accidentally put that stuff there instead of stuff about Sierra Leone. So, I looked up information on the CIA fact book. Oh, but first, before I do that, I would like to greet you in their language, which is Creole, which is kind of French. Anyway, say hi, you go, Kadi, and then you say, my name is Nicole, and you say, I name Nicole. So, Kadi, I name Nicole. So let's talk Sierra Leone. Something that I'm really interested in as a poli-sci major is conflict, and apparently there's a lot of it over there. They had a civil war, and that has had a lot of really bad effects because basically all the source of conflict there, not all of it, but a big part of it is that Sierra Leone is a very blessed country natural resources-wise. They have a ton of diamonds, and their diamonds are like known throughout the world as some of the most like pure, and everyone wants them. And so it's obviously a lot of money if you're in charge of that. So after they got free from, well, after they declared their independence from Britain in 1961, they've had various kinds of government, but there's been like a lot of underhanded dealings with who wants to control the diamonds, and they'll set all these restrictions, like the government will, on all the diamond miners, and then they'll get mad and they'll like form all these rogue groups, and it's just a really vicious cycle that's been going on since basically 1961. And the diamond trade accounts for about half of the economy, so it's very important to the people, and it would be really beneficial to everyone if we got it all fixed up and honest. Unfortunately, that's really hard to do. Speaking of the economy, there's a lot of people in Sierra Leone, even though it's a small country, and 70.2% of those people are below the poverty line, which is a huge amount, and that's a big problem. And there's a very uneven distribution of wealth there. And over half of the working age class, the people that are working there, they just do manual labor. It's not anything like with their minds or anything. They don't get education. They just work with their hands and work in fields and stuff and in mines. And I looked up in the Sierra Leone tax book. It talks about how apparently you can't use MasterCards in Sierra Leone, and effort to discourage money laundering. Like you can't go get cash there, like $10,000 or more. So I guess that's been a big problem in the past, so I want to investigate that further. Liberia and lots of neighboring countries, they've had a ton of like problems because of all the diamonds, and everyone disagrees. And so Liberia also has like their own problems. So a lot of refugees from there come over to my country, Sierra Leone, and there are over 27,000 refugees from Liberia. And so I want to investigate that further, figure out what we can do about that, how we can help them out, because we're a struggling country too. It's not like we can really take care of everyone right now. There are like all these advisories for United States citizens that are traveling in Sierra Leone. It's just to avoid large crowds because riots aren't really common, but they do happen. So you want to not be around that because they turn really violent. The embassy officials are not allowed to travel outside the capital after dark, and so they just advise that you follow the same procedures as they do. And they say that you need to keep a fully charged phone communication like a cell phone with you at all times with emergency contact. Kind of a bad thing is that vehicle accidents are really common there. I guess people just don't know how to drive, but they're really common, and the emergency services, they either come and they're really slow about coming, or they don't come at all. And so I guess be really careful if you're driving around Sierra Leone. And that's a big problem. I think that in order for that country to like start sorting itself out, like they need to have like emergency services readily available to two-way citizens and to visitors, and that would really help with tourism and stuff like that too, if people felt safer. Apparently, we have a lot of conflict with Guinea. They're disputing over all this land because they're neighbors, and apparently it's a really sore thing between them. So I want to learn about that further. Their elections are every 5 years, and their last one was in 2007, which means that they have an election coming up this year. It's very important. It means they have a constitutional democracy, which is similar to ours. However, they do it a little bit differently. The president is elected every 5 years by popular vote, and then you can get reelected, but I think only once, which is similar to us. The last one in 2007, I was a little bit unclear, but I think that they had to do like a recount because it was so close, and the difference ended up being at 9.6%. It was pretty evenly split down the middle. Like one was like 45.4, and like another one was like 54.2 or something. It was close. And the Congress, they get elected in the same year as the president. So I think that that's kind of a problem because you're having like a lot of political upheaval, and it would be hard to get things done if you're like changing everything every 5 years. So I want to try to figure out a better way of doing that, because I think like what they really need to work on in that country is their government. It's kind of really messed up, and like the political elections, I don't know how honest they are. I couldn't really find a lot of information about that. But given the government's dishonesty with the diamond trade and stuff, I don't have much hope for the election being honest. So those are just some things that I'm interested in, some things that I've learned. I'm really excited about this project, and thanks for watching my video. Have a good day.